Ever since I played GTA San Andreas for the first time, I fell in love with open world video games. It's just so cool to have the freedom to go anywhere I want. But video games are a very time-consuming hobby, and as an adult, I've been a lot more selective on how I spend my free time. Usually, AAA open world video games can stack up more than 100 hours of content, and we don't always have that time. So in this video, we're going to narrow down the scope a little bit and enter indie territory. Here are some short, open world and exploration indie games. They're a lot of fun, cozy, not expensive, and can be beaten in a few sessions, even in one sitting if you're willing to. Starting with a peak comfort game is Lil Gator Game. Developed by Mega Wobble Games, here we embark on an adorable adventure heavily inspired by The Legend of Zelda. However, we aren't the legendary hero himself, but a kid pretending to be him. Here's Lonk. He's from Pennsylvania. Just like the real one, we got a sword and shield, a silly pointy hat, and our primary color is green. Tired to wait for the release of the next legendary hero game, our big sis made a game in real life that we can both play together. And right from the start, you can feel a childhood wonder playing this game, like, yeah little guy, the floor sure is lava. Time passes, we return to the island and are very excited because we'll finally be able to play with our big sis again after being separated for a while when she left home to go to college. Our friends even had the place fully prepared for adventure just like she would do back in the days. But even in her break, she's busy and can't play with us. And now we're really sad and everyone goes their separate ways. Thankfully we got a text from Tom, another friend that was supposed to help with the game on the small island, but went to the big island by mistake. And he proposes that we gamify the entire bigger island because a game that big has never been done before. And that will 100% impress her sister and make her drop whatever she's doing to come play with us. But to do this, we will need help from everyone gathered on the island, our friends and everybody else. And it's our job to find, befriend, and recruit people to the playground, where a full fantasy town is being built. So it's basically a collectathon, where the main collectible is to make friends. Friends that will help you reconnect with your sister. This is such a precious premise, you can't get more wholesome than this. There are 3 main quests to get our best friends from the start back together, but the whole island is populated with characters with funny, cute, and even emotional tasks. And they are not limited to just platforming challenges, there's plenty of variety. Like there's a quest that has interrogation mechanics, straight up from LA Noire and Ace Attorney.
Objection! You f young boys, Valdez. Are you a madman?
The best part is that as more people play along, they actually show up in the playground and occupy the areas relevant to their tasks. It's a really nice touch, and it's very gratifying to see the town evolving in real time. There's also a crafting system here. The island is full of cardboard monsters for us to destroy, but we are not littering. Every cardboard is recycled into equipment. We can craft all sorts of things: swords, shields, hats, ranged weapons, movement items, and even a real digital camera. It's really amazing what you can do with craft, glue, and a dream. But yeah, even though the enemies don't attack us, we're encouraged to go out on our way to break them so that we can craft more stuff. And even crafting is all about our friendships. You learn the recipes by getting inspired by the characters you meet. Befriend a skateboarding dog, you can now craft a skateboard. Attended a princess tea party, suddenly you can craft a magic wand. I love games where you can customize the character, you can match so many cute outfits here. And while most of the outfits are just cosmetic, there are some special ones. Oh my god, the ninja headband makes you run like Naruto. This is the best game ever. Overall, Lil Gator Game is really charming and full of personality. There are so many cool details, the UI being the Gator notebook full of sketches, the walk cycle is like the cutest thing ever, he sits on the floor when you pause, and you can also sit on the benches around the island and just relax and enjoy the atmosphere. The dialogue is great too, it got some sincere laughs out of me multiple times, and it's really fun how everyone in the playground is 100% committed to the bit. Like, the girl pretending to be a vampire won't leave her cave unless you give her a good lore reason as to why she can't be out in the sun. I remember playing like this when I was a kid, and it's really fun to be able to relieve these feelings in a video game. And even though the game is super silly for most of the time, there are some deep and emotional scenes here that took me off guard. There's a character with a really tragic backstory. He was betrayed by his former friends who admitted their entire friendship was fake and they never actually liked him. And now he's got fear of abandonment and is very insecure around his new group of friends, to the point that he just speaking honking noises, thinking that if he just doesn't talk at all, he can mess up another friendship. Like, hello? Lil Gator Game? You are not supposed to make me relate to a character this deep, bro. What are we doing here? The ending is also very heartwarming, especially if you have siblings. Like I said, this is a peak comfort game. I highly recommend this one. And there's DLC coming up expanding the map and bringing new characters for us to meet, so now is like the best time to play it. You can't talk about open world indie games without mentioning a short hike, but I already made a whole video about this one, then you can check it out later. And it's very important to mention it, not only because it's one of the best of its kind, but a short hike heavily inspired the creation of the next game. Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip was developed by Sneakflat. I saw a tweet promoting this game that said, "This is a short hike meets Simpsons Hit and Run." And I've never been more sold in a game with only one sentence before. This is literally a perfect match. We play as Terry, and Terry wants to go to space. And we are gonna help him achieve his dream because why not? He finds a job as a cab driver, which gets him a car. But the car alone is not enough to fly into space. Fortunately, Terry's boss has a garage that can pimp up the cab with turbos. And for that, he needs turbo junk. Every 150 turbo junks grants one upgrade. So that is our goal, collect enough turbo junk to be able to go to space. And conveniently, in the middle of the city there is a comically large building that can serve as a ramp, all the way to space. It has a similar structure to the Master Sword quest in Breath of the Wild, where we have to keep upgrading it until we're actually able to get it there. To get turbo junks, we need to explore the city of sparkling water, and right from the beginning, we're free to go anywhere we want. But we do have a map and a list of quests to guide us. The collectibles can be earned in quests and are also laying around the map. The idea is to get as much money and turbo junk as possible. It's actually really fun to drive around the city. The map is not that big, but it's well populated and manages to feel alive with different activities and NPCs roaming the streets. And of course, you can run them over. It's impressive that with this colorful art style, even if the city is full of garbage with some open sewers, I kinda wanna be there, you know? Like, walk around, go for a bike ride. It looks like it's a really walkable city, which is really nice. Exploration is similar to Cyberpunk 2077 of all things, where you have question marks on the map, but you don't know what's there until you actually get there in person. Oh, and fun fact, there's a yoga minigame with a leaderboard here, and on release day, I actually managed to get top 1 in the world for a couple hours. I spent like an hour just doing this, and I don't think it was worth it at all, but the official Tiny Terra account responded to my tweet, so it was a fun interaction at least. You can also buy items, hats, and most importantly, just like we can do in Lil Gator Game, you can sit on the benches, let's go! Being able to sit on benches elevates every video game experience for me. From the beginning, you can see that Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip is very silly, and as a silly and joyful guy myself, I love it. Also, big fan of the sounds of dialogue here. With a fun premise, fun gameplay and fun characters, this one is guaranteed to be a fun time from start to finish. Alright, we're on our last game, and while it might not have the same level of quirky humor as the previous titles, this one packs a surprisingly powerful and important message. Developed by Us2 Games, Alba, a wildlife adventure is a charming story about how even the smallest person can make a big difference. The game takes place at Secaral, a fictional island in Spain, and we play as Alba, a young girl visiting her grandparents for a week-long vacation. But this vacation takes an unexpected turn. After helping in the rescue of a stranded dolphin, Alba and her friend Ines decide to take matters into their own hands and forms the AIWRL, the Alba and Ines Wildlife Rescue League. And already in the next day, the okay girls, gonna be honest here, the name needs a little work. The league learns it has a big task ahead of it because the mayor wants to destroy the nature reserve in order to build a luxury hotel in its place. Now the premise might sound a little familiar, it's the classic tale of greedy developers versus the environment. And yeah, we've seen this story played out a lot, but what can we do if rich people keep being evil and destroying the environment? It's a message that sadly continues to resonate. So how do we save the nature reserve? We collect signatures from the townsfolk, but we need to actually convince them to sign because at the start, not everyone is against building the hotel. Some see the value of that kind of development in a small town, even if it means destroying an entire ecosystem, but Alba is not gonna let that slide. We also do various tasks to restore the place, saving poisoned animals, taking off the trash, helping animals stuck in garbage, and literally doing hard repair work. The repair thing's a little bit silly because I recently moved and had to put some furniture together, and that was one of the most frustrating things I did in my entire life, and I struggle a lot doing it. So it's great to see a child who is much more competent than me in real life, repairing bridges and full wooden constructions. All these small actions create awareness and environmental consciousness among the island's residents, who begin to support the cause and oppose the destruction of the nature reserve. The game is structured around days of the week, with each day having a task related to our goal. But without a doubt, the standout mechanic in Alba is the wildlife identification system. At any moment, we can whip out your phone and snap photos of the various animals roaming the island. The game then scans the image, identifying the species. This simple act transforms exploration into a genuinely engaging and educational experience, as we learn the unique sounds and even the scientific names of the little guys we encounter. This mechanic also beautifully ties into the main narrative. As we make progress in restoring the nature reserve, more and more animals, once missing, begin to return to their natural habitats, giving us even more little guys to identify. Speaking of exploration, the setting of this game is sensational. I love exploring the island of Sekarau, even though it feels kinda empty sometimes. If I have my reservations about wanting to be in sparkling water because of the garbage and open sewage, I would happily live here. It should also be emphasized that the environmental message is not only contained in speech, but also in initiatives that, like Alba, makes a difference. As to games in collaboration with Ecology, planted a tree for every download of Alba, a wildlife adventure, and since launch, the Alba forest has already surpassed 1 million trees. How incredible is that? The commitment to social impact and promoting environmental themes is really inspiring, especially for a game like this targeted at a younger audience. But the most important question is, the one that can make or break any virtual experience. Can we sit on the benches? And unfortunately, it looks like we can't. Aww. But wait. We can't sit on all of the benches and chairs like we can in Lil Gator and Tiny Terry, but I think there was a specific one that... There it is! Yes! Hi, I'm Nitta, and I really hope you actually play these games and have a great time just as I did. I actually beat Tiny Terry, Lil Gator, and Alba in a single afternoon. I had a day off from work and I was just in the mood to chill at home and play some video games by myself, and I'm gonna be honest, it was a perfect day. Let me know in the comments if you also have recommendations of games like this. As always, I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye!